Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Windows in the Cloud. This time a special one around all the Windows Cloud announcements at Microsoft Ignite 2025 with our team. So let's get started. Hi folks, welcome to this other episode of Windows in the Cloud, a special episode around Microsoft Ignite 2025, where we will highlight all the 2025 announcements for Windows Cloud. And I'm here with Phil Gerity. So hi Phil.
Hey, good to be here.
And thanks for being here. And
Sure.
It's great to have you as here. We have been working a long time together.
Yeah.
And now Microsoft Ignite 2025, probably one of the most exciting ones after we announced the service. We are talking about Windows Cloud and AI for everyone. Mm-hmm. Before we dive into that, can you explain a little bit what you do as part of the team to the IT pros here?
Sure. Yeah. Hey, I'm Phil Gerity. I lead our end user and AI experiences in Windows Cloud, and glad to be here today.
Yeah, and one of the things you have been working on with our team in stealth mode is around AI-enabled cloud PCs, right?
Yep.
Can you share a little bit more on that, as well as the other features around AI that we announced during Ignite?
Sure. Yeah. So our AI-enabled cloud PCs was our end-user-facing announcement at Ignite, and that's bringing features like improved search and click to do directly into Windows 365 cloud PCs.
I'm extremely excited to showcase the new client experience for AI-enabled cloud PCs, as well as the new features, improved search, support for OneDrive, as well as click to do within a cloud PC. So let me show you how it works. So I'm connecting to my cloud PC, and you can see the new cards and experience kicking in. And in my cloud PC, I'm searching for rugby, and you can see that a rugby picture pops up, but the name is not called rugby. And this is the AI file search experience with semantic indexing that is now available in your cloud PC. The other feature that we announced is Click to Do. And with Click to Do, you can select text on the screen and export it to M365 Copilot. And I also do that with pictures and remove the background and blur and all these things as well. So he can see I'm exporting it to M365 Copilot and ask Copilot to summarize the data I want to export from Microsoft Edge, but that could be any line of business application that you're using, and then summarize it for me and export it into a document in Microsoft Word. And this is just one of the integrations to bring AI inside Windows 11 as part of Windows 365 to bring more value for Microsoft 365 Copilot, as well as the natural use of using Windows 11 from the cloud.
So for the first one that we just saw, I don't know if you recognize the voice in that one.
Well, I think that was my voice.
I think right? It was your voice.
Well, yeah. That was an Easter egg.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. That's our AI-enabled cloud PCs, and we've got another one here from Anusha talking to us about Copilot in Intune.
Yeah, let's play the video.
Yep.
Meet Copilot in Intune for Windows 365. Your smarter way to manage cloud PCs. Admins can now access Cloud PC Insights directly in the Intune portal. No context switching, no extra steps. Copilot provides real-time visibility into your environment, enabling you to troubleshoot issues and make informed decisions with speed and confidence. See affected regions and devices immediately, no manual diagnostics. Spot incomplete configurations before users are impacted. Get real-time license visibility during policy creation without leaving Intune. Identify underutilized resources and cut unnecessary costs. Monitor performance trends and usage patterns to optimize capacity and improve user experience. Surface provisioning failures with actionable guidance, saving hours of investigation. Powered by a small language model, Copilot makes cloud PC management intuitive, proactive, and efficient, all within the familiar Intune interface. Copilot in Intune for Windows 365. Smarter management simplified.
That was such a cool demo showing Copilot in Intune for new skill sets and capabilities for managing and monitoring and proactively checking the status of your cloud PCs and such.
Yeah.
But that's not the last demo for your announcements.
Not the last. Yeah, we got one more. So this one's Windows 365 for agents, and that's from Elaine. And so she's going to show us an agent built on top of Windows 365. It's a computer using agent. We're working with a whole slew of different agent builders internally at Microsoft Copilot Studio, Researcher, and then third-party agents as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elaine Yu, the product manager behind Windows 365 for Agents, an essential compute platform to deploy computer-using agents, also known as CUAs. In this demo, we'll see Manus AI in action. Imagine you run a small sports apparel business and need help updating a PowerPoint deck. We'll ask Manus to change the slide text color, insert an image, and save the file under a new name. To perform these tasks, Manus spins up a cloud PC in a familiar Windows environment. As Manus edits the PowerPoint, you can monitor the progress in real time, pause the operations, or take control if needed. Upon completion, the file is saved to your OneDrive folder for secure access. With our platform, menial tasks can be offloaded to trusted and intelligent CUA processes, so you can focus on work that matters.
Hey, Bhavya, thanks for being here. And welcome back to after different Windows in the Cloud episodes over the last 2-3 years together.
Yeah.
Exciting time. We just heard from other GPMs on the team what they announced at Ignite. What are your announcements at Microsoft Ignite?
Yeah, so basically I lead the secure and resilient foundation for all of our Windows Cloud products. And we consider about 3 value props that we're looking at this year. One is recover fast. The second one is stay connected. And the third is protect everywhere.
It's so important, and especially with initiatives, security in the company, as well as the dial tone initiative that you're driving within the team. I think this is great news for our customers, right? Can you double click on some of these announcements a little more?
Absolutely. So with Recover Fast, we're looking at bringing the power of the cloud to our physical PCs, right? There are limitations that you hit with your physical devices, coffee spills, ransomware, there's an outage. Usually our customers are maintaining tons of loaner devices to be able to help their users get productive again. We just launched Windows 365 Reserve, where you can now get 10 days of temporary Cloud PC access to get your users productive in minutes. Imagine you have a coffee spill, you're out of your device, you pick up a personal iPad, connect to your corp data on the cloud. It's ready to go for you, and at very affordable prices and very secure. So we just did the Windows 365 Reserve launch, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, one of the awesome things is the power of our platform, Windows 365, to bring that into scenarios that are more physical PC orientated.
Exactly.
But all these companies using loaner devices and such, they are hard to maintain. And you need to update them every month and all these things. That's not a problem with Reserve, right?
Not at all. That's where we say we bring the power of the cloud scalability and flexibility right to your physical device.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And actually, well, let's roll the video where you're going to be hearing from one of my product managers who led the Reserve launch. So you'll be hearing from Logan. Let's roll it.
Today, I'm going to show you Windows 365 Reserve, our new offering to help organizations retain business continuity. Think of Windows 365 Reserve as bringing the resiliency of cloud PCs to your employees who mainly use physical devices. With Reserve, you can get employees back to work fast when their main device fails. You can simplify your IT management through Intune, managing alongside your other devices. And you can strengthen your security posture while providing short-term continuity. Let's take a look at how simple Windows 365 Reserve is. In Intune, under the Windows 365 blade, I'll set up Windows 365 Reserve in advance by creating a provisioning policy. I'll give the policy a name, add a description, pick the right geography, and turn on single sign-on. By default, the policy applies the latest Windows image at the time you provision, and I can tweak things like language packs, naming templates, or scope tags. Then I'll assign my entry user groups so that those users are licensed and ready. At this point, reserved cloud PCs aren't created yet. They're prepared and ready to provision throughout the year when my users need them. Now imagine that a few weeks later, my employee Megan's laptop fails. Instead of scrambling to find and prepare a physical loaner device for her, I just go into Intune, find my provisioning policy, search Megan's name, and provision her reserved cloud PC. Megan signs into the Windows app securely from any device, work or personal, using her work credentials. The cloud PC is ready for her with her work apps, settings, and security policies in place, and she sees that she gets 10 days to use it. She clicks connect, and just like that, she's back to work in no time.
And then the second value prop that I was just mentioning is stay connected. Now that your workload is in the cloud, you want to make sure you're able to connect to it no matter what. You mentioned the dial tone initiative that we've begun in the team. There's tons of investments we're making to make sure we provide you a regional, highly available service infrastructure. So all of our services are always up for you. We're also launching new investments by our Microsoft-hosted network customers. So if you're choosing the Microsoft-hosted network, you're able to distribute your cloud PCs over a larger set of regions within your data residency boundary. That actually prevents from any of the regional outages impacting your cloud PC estate. And then the most important, which is the dial tone initiative, we're making tons of improvements in reliability of our connectivity path. So we launched reliable UDP connections with our stun and turn relays, as you would have heard. We also just made generally available Multipath, where it does multiple connections of UDP so that if one fails, the other one can take over without disrupting your experiences. And in fact, that is one of the demos you'll be seeing. So we'll be talking to Rinku, who will be showing us how Multipath works on both Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop.
We are excited to announce that RDP Multipath with UDP is now generally available for Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop. This is a huge step forward in delivering a smooth, uninterrupted experience for cloud PCs. Traditionally, RDP used a single network path. If that path slowed down or failed, your session suffered. Multipath changes that by using multiple paths at the same time. Think of it like having several routes to your destination. If one is blocked, Multipath instantly switches to another, so you keep moving. With Multipath, failover is seamless. That means fewer disruption, faster recovery, and a better experience, even on challenging networks. And we are not stopping here. Multipath for TCP is coming soon. This will bring TCP connections closer to UDP reliability. Users with UDP will gain even more resiliency with redundant UDP and TCP paths, while those limited to TCP will benefit from redundant TCP connections. Now, let's see it in action. I'll simulate a disconnect and watch how Multipath instantly switches to an alternate path, keeping the session alive without interruption. The best part, Multipath is available today. No extra cost, no configuration needed, and enabled by default. Learn more at aka.ms/RDP Multipath.
Well, that was an amazing demo from the team. Resiliency and MHN, we are doing something there as well, right?
Yes. Exactly. So for actually all of our customers that have Azure network connections, we also have the option of choosing Microsoft hosted network. So far, what has happened is all of the Microsoft hosted network customers, when they selected Geo, we picked the best region that's available for latency, capacity, where we can provide you the highest provisioning success rate. Now what we're doing is we will distribute it across all the regions that are available within a particular geo, which means you're not having your entire cloud PC estate in one region. Now it's distributed across multiple regions, so you're more protected against regional outages that are unfortunately sometimes do occur.
Okay, awesome. Do we have a demo for that prepared as well?
We do. So you'll be hearing from Swarnim, who's a product manager and has made tons of investments in the Microsoft hosted network space. And let's roll the video.
What if an outage in one Azure region didn't impact all of your cloud PCs? That's exactly what we are going to address in this video. Hello everyone, I'm Swarnam. I'm a product manager on the Windows 365's platform team, and I'm excited to share with you the upcoming resiliency enhancements for MHN. Windows 365's resiliency is built on three pillars. We have the connectivity platform, the management platform, and the workload resiliency. Resiliency enhancements for MHN deliver higher workload resiliency for our customers. So, how does it work? Currently, MHN Auto deploys cloud PCs in a single region per geography. So if one region goes down, all the cloud PCs provisioned in that region gets impacted. With the upcoming enhancements, the cloud PC deployment will be distributed across all the selected regions within the geography. Along with this, we are also consolidating our geographies and introducing a new provisioning experience. Let's look at how that works. So this is what the new provisioning experience will look like. We'll have the tier 1, in this case that's the geography, and we'll select Europe as an example. And then you get the option to change selection. By default, all regions will be selected. Now the tier 2 here would be the Germany region, group or country. And the tier 3 would be the Azure data center. In this example, that would be Germany West Central. You can select or deselect specific regions or countries to meet your organization's data resiliency needs. So for example, we can deselect Germany and France if we do not want to provision any cloud PCs in those regions. As new Azure regions become available, we'll add them to supported options to further strengthen resiliency, even at the region, group, or country level. Once you have made these selections, you can click on Submit, and you'd see that both France and Germany are not in our list of region groups or regions for provisioning. This approach greatly improves reliability. If one of the chosen regions, such as Ireland, experiences an outage, only the cloud PCs in that region are affected. Users in all other regions can continue working without interruption, dramatically reducing the impact of any single region outage. Depending on your workload's criticality, you can use MHN for its resiliency benefits or combine it with our disaster recovery solutions for even stronger protection. With these resiliency enhancements for MHN, you get peace of mind and a more resilient cloud PC experience. Thank you.
And last but not least, security. Top of mind in Microsoft as well as everywhere.
Yeah.
So what are we doing around security, and what are the demos that the team prepared for that?
Yeah. So that's our third value prop, which is we want to protect your corp data everywhere. And a big theme of that is to make sure that you're able to access Windows Cloud solutions from any personal device without the accidental leak of your data from the cloud to your physical device. None of our customers would want that. They want their data protected where it lives or whether it travels. And so a bunch of investments are being made for you to be able to securely access your cloud PCs or your AVD VMs from personal devices. One big one is token protection. So we now have token binding so that you are protected from token theft or session hijack. We have capabilities coming soon with MAM being supported on Windows. So we already support MAM on iOS, Android, and Edge on Windows, but we will now be supporting native application with MAM. So you can have device posture checks so you can make sure that no unsecured device is able to access your corp data in the cloud. And we're also going to be coming soon with an investment on context-based redirection. So based on user, device, network, location context, you're able to set very granular DLP controls. So if you're coming from a public Wi-Fi, you do not want to allow copy-paste. But if you're coming from CorpNet, you want to be able to copy-paste data in and out. So our customers will be able to set those controls. Please join us in the customer connection program. We have private previews going for both MAM and context-based redirections. And then the third is IO protection. A lot of our customers, especially in the financial services industry, have been saying, hey, what about my keylogger protection? We're finally able to release keylogger protection in public preview. Very excited about that feature. And we'll see a video of the MAM feature that I was just talking about from one of our product managers, Derek, who recorded that for us. So let's roll that.
Windows MAM for Windows App helps to enforce security posture and prevent data loss across the various devices being used around an organization. Windows MAM for Windows App is useful for organizations that want to allow their employees to use their personal devices to access their organization's cloud PCs or Azure Virtual Desktop VMs. It helps to protect corporate data even without the need to Intune enroll their employees' personal devices. It improves an organization's zero-trust posture by enforcing that company data access through Windows app is only permitted after complying with health and security criteria established in Intune app protection policy. It further streamlines IT control through centralized policy management through Intune for Windows app sessions, allowing for consistent enforcement across AVD and W365. Now, let's dive into the demo. In Intune, an IT admin creates an app protection policy under the App Protection blade. From there, they'll create a Windows-based policy, add a name and description, and then select Windows App as the app to target. Then we can configure data protection settings. We can choose to allow or block org data sharing from Windows App. Next, we can configure health checks that support app conditions check, such as minimum Windows app version, and device checks, such as minimum OS version and max allowed device threat level from Windows Security Center. We will then assign a group to adhere to this policy, which, in this example, we will target our organization's BYOD user group. From an end user's BYOD perspective, after they have Workplace join their device to Entra, they attempt their initial login to Windows app. Man policy identifies that the device doesn't meet the health check criteria of the minimum Windows app version to be 2.5 and blocks the end user from accessing their workspace.
Hey, welcome back, Tristan. Great to have you here as well. And flexible experiences, Microsoft Ignite 2025, cloud apps, before you tell me more about that, can you explain what you do as part of the team to the audience?
Sure. I mean, we're going to talk about three things. My team does so much more. We do all the stuff for kind of IT admin experiences. Part of my team is now partner and customer communities. We own SMB strategy. So this shows up in lots of different ways across the product. But happy to talk about these three as kind of key three announcements at Ignite.
Yeah, I heard cloud apps is a big thing. It's bringing the remote app kind of technology into Windows 365. Can you maybe start with that, what it is and what it is at Microsoft Ignite?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share this is kind of a big milestone for us. I'll talk about cloud apps and this thing we're calling user experience sync. Previously we would talk about, we have Windows 365 as our SaaS offering. We have AVD as our PaaS offering, but the reality is there was a couple gotchas within that. If you wanted to do just app streaming, what we called remote app in AVD, you had to use our PaaS offering, AVD. If you wanted to have a stateless deployment of machines and you wanted to roam user profiles, we have a solution called FSLogix, which you know very well, right, Brinkhoff?
Well, I came from the acquisition, so
right. So, with these, we said, well, is there a way that we can SaaSify these solutions into Windows 365? And Cloud Apps is our SaaS version of app streaming for Windows 365. So if you're not familiar with this, this is where you're able to remote from the cloud just specific app experiences. They look like they're running locally. So you can imagine an iPad, a Android device, looks like it's running a local Windows device, Windows app, but it's actually executing in the cloud and you can run it on any platform. So it's super powerful, very popular among people that deploy virtualization.
Yeah, especially if you're like a task worker, right? And you only need access to a certain app for a certain time and do your time registration and things like that. So for contractors in these scenarios that use frontline share with cloud apps, it's a great offering that they can use now, right?
Right. It's really the evolution of what we announced last year was frontline shared. And so now we have this stateless pool of machines that are great for these kind of intermittent task-based use cases. And so adding app streaming into this via cloud apps was a key milestone, which then leads into the final piece is this thing we're calling user experience sync. Again, there's lots of kind of profile roaming solutions out there. It's been in virtualization for a long time. It's really useful when you have these pools of machines, but we wanted to find a way to SaaSify, and you can deploy this with the click of a checkbox. You go into provisioning policy, you click the checkbox if you want it, and then this is just included with your frontline license.
Yeah, it's really cool, and cool to see FSLogix as a technology moving into real SaaS kind of profile solution without the complexity, because I remember when we started this journey, loved by users, trusted by IT,
Right.
and that vision continues with every product we attach to like this frontline and shared offering, right?
You're exactly right. I mean, from the get-go, Windows 365, you were there. We talked about, should we bring FS logics to Windows 365? And we said, not until we can make this super simple and reliable. So that's what we're announcing.
Yeah, and especially with like cloud native and making Entra ID available from the cloud, everything like your cloud PC, your profile, everything is in the cloud. I think it's a great story for simplicity as well as removing the complexity, but without like the boundaries or let's say the complexity from virtualization, but with the greatness of a profile management solution like FS Logics.
Right.
So.
Well, and it's just such a simple message now, right? We love Azure Virtual Desktop. We love Windows 365. And you can choose. What do you prefer? Do you prefer PaaS or SaaS? And you can have any types of deployments that you want across these management planes. So that's probably a good point where why don't we show them the demo of Cloud Apps from Serena here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
In this demo, I'll show you how to create Windows 365 Cloud Apps from both custom and Microsoft applications. Cloud Apps enable admins to deliver applications hosted on cloud PCs to end users who don't require a full desktop experience. First, in Intune, I'll create a Windows 365 provisioning policy and select Experience Type App Only. Cloud Apps run on Windows 365 Frontline and Shared mode, so you'll need to have Frontline licenses. I'll use a gallery image and then use a Windows Autopilot device preparation policy to attach my custom app, Contoso Hotels. I'll also enable user experience sync so that app data and settings can roam with my users. I'll assign my Contoso Hotel staff group shared use of 2 frontline shared cloud PCs. That means all 11 members of the group can access Cloud Apps from these 2 devices, but only 2 users can connect at the same time. While my devices are provisioning, you can see I've set up my device preparation profile with one required app. That means Windows 365 ensures the app is installed on the cloud PC before I can publish it as a cloud app. Once devices are provisioned, I can publish apps in all cloud apps, including my custom app. Back in Windows app, you can see and connect to published cloud apps. The cloud apps look and behave just like local apps. Back in Intune, you can see I'm connected to one cloud PC and that my user profile is attached. In concurrency reporting, you can see how often you hit your max concurrency so you know if you need to resize the collection. When I finish up my tasks and disconnect from my cloud app, then that device will be free for the next user.
That was a great demo of Serena explaining Cloud Apps. User experience sync needs to be managed in Intune as well. So enterprises might want to see that as well. Can you shed some light on how that works?
Right. Well, I guess first thing I want to clarify too is, you just turn these things on as part of provisioning frontline shared. You decide, do I want the full desktop experience? Do I want the app experience? That's a free option for you. Also, do I want to use user experience sync or not? That's a free option for you. So it's included with the license. And the way to think about the user experience sync is if you look at all of the disk storage for each of your cloud PCs in the provisioning policy, we add up the total amount of that disk storage. And that's how big your storage pool is for user experience sync. So you can decide if you want to have a ton of users with 4 gig user experience sync profiles roaming, or do you want to have a smaller set that have 16 gigs or more? I'll give a bit of a teaser here is one of the things that we're thinking about is trying to make this dynamic for our admins as an option in the future. So at this time, you'll be able to pick the size. And in the future, we might make it even easier by just saying dynamically use and optimize the pool for me.
That's really cool. So it's like a little bit like a data bundle, like from providers like our mobile phones and such for companies, right?
Right.
That's awesome. And I think very valuable in transforming the kind of user experience sync experience from, let's say I'm a customer using traditional virtualization to a more adaptive way of making sure the user experience is great for my end users, right?
Right. And yeah, of course, again, the whole goal is SaaS and simplicity. So we try to, it's as simple as deploying with a checkbox, but we still do give our admins options afterwards. If they need to delete profiles, they can do this. They need to reset a user's profile, you can do that. So giving our admins enough options without it being confusing is really the goal. And then, of course, just the reliability, simplicity is always paramount.
That's so awesome.
But actually, yeah, so that's probably a good tee up for Jason, who has a good demo to show you some of that manageability. Let's roll that tape.
User Experience Sync is a new feature designed to deliver a seamless and consistent experience for users across Windows 365, frontline shared desktops, and cloud apps. User Experience Sync is easily enabled by creating a new policy and choosing the frontline license type in shared mode, selecting your geography and region, then selecting your Windows 11 image. Under Configuration, you'll find a checkbox for Enable User Experience Sync. It's really as simple as that, and there really are no other configurations that are necessary. We do need to create an assignment, which is the users that will have access to these cloud PCs. Then we'll need to choose a cloud PC size, and then we'll give the assignment a name, and the cloud PC size will come in when we look at the user storage later on. We'll provide a number of cloud PCs here, and then we'll select Review and Create. As our policy is creating, we don't need to wait around for it, but we can see that the demo policy we created is provisioning. Now we can go to a pre-created provisioning policy for our Contoso hotel staff. When we open up this policy, we can see that there are these new tabs at the top. The Properties tab will be where you'll find the User Experience Sync configuration enablement. There's a new tab for devices, which shows you the devices that have been provisioned for this policy and their various status. Lastly, the user storage is where you'll find the allocation of storage that's been made available for users that use this policy and these cloud PCs. Because we deployed a 128 gigabyte OS disk and we deployed 2 cloud PCs, we multiply those and we can see that we get 256 gigabytes of allocated storage for free as part of our licensing. The more cloud PCs that you deploy, the more storage that you will be able to use for your users. A user will sign in and create storage, and that storage will be created at 4 gigabytes. Later on, we'll provide various sizes up to 64 gigabytes. In the event that the user is having a problem or you're running low on storage, the user storage can be deleted. Once deleted, we can go ahead and connect as the user, and we'll establish a new session in which we will create new storage and be able to personalize our experience. User Experience Sync preserves critical elements like application data, configuration, settings, and accessibility preferences, ensuring that users feel at home every time they sign in, regardless of the device or session, whether it's Outlook, OneDrive, or custom app settings, everything stays just the way that it is. For this user, as a Contoso hotel staff, I'll need to sign in and use the Contoso hotel app. I've already customized my desktop, and now I can pin this to the taskbar for easy access. And now when I launch this, I'm going to need to provide some information so that I can sign into this device or this application. When I launch the application, after putting in the configuration settings, I can see that I'm signed in. We'll provide some additional personalization as we did with our Windows settings. And we can see that now we've got the purple coloring with the dark background. If we go back to the provisioning policy, we can see now the user storage has been created for this user and it is attached. Now we'll sign out of this device and then sign back in so we can see the full power of having a seamless and consistent experience. After signing out, you should be able to refresh the user table and see that the storage is no longer attached. Now we'll go back into the device and verify that all of our settings and our applications are working as we left them. Great. Now that my user is signed in, you can see that the personalization has followed me along with the application that's pinned to the start menu. We will launch the application and see that all of our personalization is as we left it. Hopefully this shows that User Experience Sync will help users become more productive with their seamless and consistent desktop experiences and also in cloud apps.
While seeing on the background, you have this latest technology coming to life from the demo from Jason is great. But we're also doing something about hybrid Azure Virtual Desktop. So please tell me more about that.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I mean, you might already know that we have Azure Local as our kind of hybrid solution today for the Windows Cloud, and this is supported with Azure Virtual Desktop. We're trying to get even closer to where our customers are today so that they're not making any big leaps and kind of give them stepping stones. So what we're doing now is we're saying you can enable any of your on-prem VDI farms to connect via AVD. So think of bringing any machine on any hypervisor, and roll it into your host pool with AVD, and then you can connect to that from wherever you are via the Windows app, our unified app for accessing cloud apps, desktops, anything.
That's really cool. Like previously, Azure Local would be needed for some scenarios like this. What you're saying, it goes much broader and flexible. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is you don't have to buy new hardware. You can use your existing hardware, existing hypervisor. You have machines that might already be deployed with another VDI solution. And if you want to move to the Microsoft VDI solution, Azure Virtual Desktop, you can start using our connectivity plane right away. Maybe worth adding too within this, so once you add like a Windows server into your host pool, you also get things like app attach that you can deliver from the cloud to these machines.
That's so awesome, especially if you're an enterprise and you're in this journey to the cloud and you have some resources, compliance reasons for keeping your VMs on your own private cloud. This could be a great solution while not investing or going to Azure Local, which of course is an option, but not a requirement anymore.
Exactly. We're just trying to create stepping stones. Like we want everyone to move to the cloud, ideally to Windows 365 at some point when they're ready. And so this is just us just kind of recognizing for, like you say, for compliance reasons, for latency reasons, some need to host on-prem. And it's not always their whole deployment. Sometimes it's a subset of their deployment. So now you have a unified experience where, like I say, if you're using app attach, you can do that all from AVD, and you can deploy that to your machines hosted on-prem or your machines hosted in the cloud.
Yeah, and I think the other part that you touched on is we have the Windows app being front and center for going to AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop, and either or on-prem, or on-premises and the cloud, or Windows 365 all together in one end-user experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just continuing to march down that journey, that vision that we've announced previously of this is going to be the one app to rule them all. So we're continuing down that path. I think MSRDC is actually being deprecated March 27th. This is the day before my birthday. So by March 28th, we're open to have everyone that's using MSRDC over to the Windows app.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure that we give Tristan a nice present for his birthday and make sure you adapt the Windows app. Before I let you go, is there a demo that you can show of this as well?
Yeah, for sure. Hybrid is kind of a different one to demo, right? It's not as visual, but Steve Downs is kind of showing you some pieces of what this looks like. So go ahead, Steve.
I'm excited to share with you the upcoming Azure Virtual Desktop for Hybrid Environments capability. This feature brings Azure Virtual Desktop to your choice of on-premises hypervisor or physical device, all via Azure Arc. In this example, we have a user with a traditional cloud-hosted cloud PC assigned to them, as well as Windows Server and Windows 11 desktops, and each of those are hosted on an on-premises Hyper-V cluster. I've gone ahead and launched the Windows Server desktop. So now we'll see the full desktop experience launch here in a moment. And in this example, we have a hotel worker managing hotel reservations in an on-premises hotel reservations database. So I'm going to go ahead and create the reservation, select a room type and a room number, create the booking. And now there's the list of all the additional bookings. And we'll go ahead and look at Server Manager. In Server Manager, you can see Azure Arc Management is in fact enabled. And this is a Windows Server 2025 virtual machine hosted on Hyper-V. If we take a look at SysTray, we'll see that Azure Arc is in fact connected to Azure. And then we can go into the Azure portal and look at the Azure Arc Blade, where we'll see that this particular device has several other capabilities configured, including pay-as-you-go, hot patch, and updates. If we go to the AVD Session Host Blade, we'll see that this device is in fact healthy with one connected session. And I'm going to go ahead and put this device in drain mode so that no other users can log in and I can perform some maintenance. If we drill deeper into that session host, we'll see the device has in fact passed all AVD health checks. Thank you very much, and we look forward to sharing more with you.
Hey, thanks, team. And Bhavya, do you have anything to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would love for our customers to join the Customer Connection program. We look forward to connecting with you there.
Yeah, I mean, we just announced lots of new private previews, so that's a great place where you can sign up and try out our latest features.
Yeah. And if you're an agent builder and you're interested in building agents, join our private preview program. We'll have a QR code on the screen or hit us up on LinkedIn.
Thanks for watching.